Hi, everybody. Come on in. I decided to have this video topic because this here is solving a lot of my problems, y'all. If you feel like you struggle to get problem solved, it's because you need to distance yourself more from civilization. Okay, not just from the people who you know, or not just from your family members, but actually distance yourself from human civilization. Like, keep your distance from it a lot. Okay. We're going to talk about this in a minute. Okay. Wait till we get more people in here. And I'm talking about human civilization. Okay. That means you have to treat yourself like you are a guest and you only briefly stay. Okay. We're talking about human civilization, wherever there are a bunch of humans at. Okay. And doing human like things. That is very modern human as well. Anything that's modern human civilization, you also need to treat yourself like you're just a guest there, briefly staying, you're dropping in to say hi, and that's it. Okay? We're going to get into this video topic, y'all. Now, y'all know this is an unfiltered channel. And when I do my videos on the weekends, they are raw. Okay? My weekend videos are always raw. So if some of y'all be offended by the weekend videos, then don't watch the weekend videos. Okay, I hold nothing back. Now, the reason why, three signs that you need to distance yourself a lot from human civilization is where you know that your boundaries are seldom respected. And it doesn't matter where you go. Doesn't matter. Okay, you might be an actual abundant energy source for the vampire community. And so they see you as just somebody to drain. Okay? And it's like you're not going to be able to escape it. If you feel like you can't escape drainage, it doesn't matter if you're just standing in a room, you can feel like your energy being sucked, then you need to distance yourself from human civilization. There's something very powerful about you may not even know is very powerful, and it triggers a lot of people in civilization to drain you out just energetically. Okay? It could be what type of elemental energy that the world is not an abundant in, and yet you are abundant in it. So everywhere you go, people are just leeching off your energy. Okay. Second sign. When you are near mastery in something, when you know that you're tapping into genius ability in something, where you're building up a lot of muscle memory with what you're doing, especially if it's something artistic, you have to distance yourself from human civilization, which means the only time you be in human civilization is actually to promote what you have for sale, what you have mastered for sale. Other than that, you're in like this club, this genius club, like the first rule of Fight Club. You don't talk about Fight Club. That means that you don't talk about your genius abilities. You don't discuss it. You're just visiting human civilization to actually promote whatever you created from your genius abilities. There's a lot of people that a lot of the world is jealous of anybody that seems like they have giftedness in something. And you may find that you're getting jumped, you're getting iced out, frozen out, and you didn't do nothing wrong. And this keeps happening in groups everywhere you go because you're a genius or a master in something. So rather than deal with the passive aggressive toxic energy that comes at you when you become a genius, you better off just distancing yourself from human civilization. Once again, if you feel like you're tapping into some genius ability, some superhuman power in your gifts, artistic gifts, it's better off that you distance yourself from human civilization. The only time you show up is to actually sell what you're doing. There are people who are celebrities who became geniuses in what they did, and they kept on being a part of human civilization. And you see what happened to them. Y'all see what happened to Michael. When Michael was distant and all he did was write his songs and sell his songs, his life was better. But as soon as he started mingling with other people's kids and had random people coming to his place and all that type of stuff, doing human civilization stuff, behavior and communications, y'all see how his career got sabotaged. Look what happened to Whitney. When Whitney started going to all those different parties with Bobby Brown and all that type of stuff, y'all see what happened to her. Okay? So I'm just saying, all right? Once you become a genius and gifted in something, civilization, human civilization only exists for you to make money off of it. That's the only time it exists. Okay? And to get a resource from it. That's it. Okay. All right. Oh, I'm doing good. Yep, I'm doing good. Actually, my health is way better than it was a few months ago. Okay? A few months ago, woo! I had one of my hormones was so low I could barely walk. But my body started cranking up the hormones to save itself. So it's doing better than it did. Okay, the third sign that you need to leave human civilization is that you're a person that likes to, you're very optimistic. You're always looking on the bright side. Okay? You don't believe in God, you know God exists. You know, and you no longer need proof. You no longer need proof that there is a higher power, a higher power energy source that is supplying us with energy and boost to our own power. And you want to just stay positive. You just want to look on the bright side. Okay, but you can't be in human civilization. Human civilization is not very optimistic anymore. No matter where you go, somebody turns a conversation negative. Okay, you'll notice that there's most of the people in the world are now emotionally dumping or trauma dumping or turning every conversation negative or one-upping or just real passive aggressive type of communication. And you know, all you want to do is talk about the good things, you know, what work for you. You want to just talk about how you're focused on solutions. If you're a person that is always solution based, then you don't need to be in human civilization anymore. Because a lot of people are not looking to actually use solutions. They're looking to say that they just know the solution. But if you are someone that's like, I'm looking to actually get the solution and use the solution. I'm an action-based person. Then 9 times out of 10, you need to leave human civilization because most people are just talking the talk, but not walking the walk. Okay? They're saying they want solutions, but they're not actually using them. They just want to parade around and say they got the answer so they can get more energy and fuel from people. And you'll find that out when you talk to a lot of people everywhere and anywhere like I was doing. You'll find that a high percentage people, when you ask them if they're doing what they say, they'll say not yet, or when I get the time. They'll give an excuse, and they'll show you that they're not actually practicing what they preaching. People will tell you that they need to lose weight, but you know they ain't taking those steps. People will tell you that they're trying to make more money. They're tired of being in poverty, yet they're not starting no businesses. They're not saving any money. And you'll be like, okay, why is everybody just talking and not nobody really doing? Or they just lying and say they talking, but when I learn about their life, they ain't doing it. And that to you, after you deal with that type of energy from so many people, you start to be like, this is toxic. Okay? I just wasted my energy in this conversation with somebody that's faking like they taking action. And when I could have been just taking action and away for this person. So, yeah, those are 3 signs, y'all. Okay? Now, here's a bonus sign. If you still believe that art is an essential need, that creative art is essential need, if you believe that, you don't need to be in human civilization. Okay? A lot of humans have said creativity is not necessary. Their idea of creativity is just talking on YouTube and editing some videos. That's their idea. Okay. Their idea of being creative is not, I actually took the photos, edited the photos myself. Their idea of creativity is getting stock photos, just clipping some videos, just clipping and saying it's a video. Not really thinking outside the box, not being an original. Originality is becoming so obsolete. People don't even care about being a little bit different. People are just like, I just want to do what it would work for other people. And when you're in human civilization, that's what you're going to be exposed to. You're going to be exposed to people just doing what work for somebody else, and people who are going to do what you're doing because they see it work for you. And you're just going to be agitated and irritated by it all. So if you still believe that creativity, art, creative art, writing your own songs, singing songs, playing instruments, dance choreography, poetry, prose, and painting, and you still believe that artistic expression is an essential need, and you still say it doesn't matter if it makes me money, I have to still put it as a top priority. You need to live human civilization, because people are going to think you're insane. People are going to think that you're stuck in the past, that you're comfortable with poverty, or that you got some mental health problems to even be glamorizing creativity while the country is in the shape that it's in. So you might as well just stay away from human civilization. I know there's people that probably think I'm crazy because how much I talk about writing poetry. I've seen people's faces get turned into some weird look. They go silent. They stop speaking to me. They look at me like I'm mentally disturbed. And I have got that energy so many times that now I realize that that is a real important reason to stay away from human civilization. To just put my books on Amazon and collect my check. Don't talk about my love for poetry and painting. Don't talk about my latest poem. It's wild. Like, your resume is not even sacred now. Okay, used to be only employers looked at your resume. Now everybody looks at your resume and tries to walk in your footsteps and pass you up and take the next step that you was going to take. So it makes no sense to talk about your creative endeavors. If you are creatively gifted, then your creativity is not sacred if you are in human civilization. This is a deep conversation. People are not going to see this as a sacred gift. We're living in a world now where people think that you're supposed to be generous with your creative abilities and what you know about it, as if you owe them it and they're complete strangers. So even if you do go in human civilization and you start talking about how you wrote that great poem and how it got nominated for a prize, people are going to think that you have to teach them how to write it for free. And if you don't, they'll try to use the Bible against you. They'll try to say that you're supposed to be helping society and all this type of stuff. They'll expect you to sacrifice your financial needs just to get them to the level you are at creatively in less time than it took for you to get there. This is a deep video. They won't care how long it took for you to learn what you've learned creatively. They'll expect you to get them there faster than you got there, and for free, or for crumbs, for cheap, or for discounts. They want discounts on it. Okay? And we're living in a world now where people think they're just entitled to very cheap service because they exist, all because they exist as a human. Y'all. So I think that human civilization, and I'm not talking about the Amish because they're not really in civilization. They only go to civilization to sell stuff. If you notice the Amish don't sit up under each other all day. They have designated group meeting times. Most of the day, they're actually out there with nature and the animals, or they're crafting, or they're building, or they're making things, or they're weaving things, or cooking up recipes or something. They actually treat human civilization time and even their own group time as if it's a time to give gratitude as a whole, as a collective, or to feast in peaceful energy, or to give advice that each other need. That's it. That's the only time they're really around each other. But the human civilization, outside of the Amish civilization, our human civilization, we are around each other for any old reason, for no reason at all, sometime. And then we say society is toxic. You really should have a pre-planned reason to be around human civilization. Like literally, know why you're going to be around humans today. In human civilization outside of Amish villages and stuff. Why are you being around them? Why will you even mingle with the humans in civilization? What is the reason to do that? If you don't even know that, then you shouldn't even be a guest among human civilization. Like, I know when I visit people, I know the reason why I'm going to their home. Okay? I don't just go to the home and say hi. I wanted to say hi. Nah. That means that I'm saying anything goes. Anything can go with the energy coming towards me. Oh, this is deep. I have a whole new, after what happened with my family over the last 5 years, I have a whole new appreciation for being briefly there in human civilization. Some of y'all ain't gone through enough with this human civilization for y'all to see that being around humans for an hour is more than enough. Being around humans, just to be around a human for an hour a day is more than enough, y'all. Okay? That's enough time to have 2 drinks at the bar or 2 drinks at your table and a treat and talk, and that's it. I think we have to get our human civilization interactions down to the time of lunch break. Like, once this lunch is over, there's no need for human civilization connection. Or 30 minutes at lunch and 30 minutes at dinner. That's about it. 40 minutes at lunch, 40 minutes at dinner. That's it. That's it. All the rest of the time during the day, you with things that is not human. Serious. I learned the hard way, and I hope y'all learn. I love the fact that my peace lasts a lot longer the longer I'm not around humans. Some people can keep their peace a long time around humans. But some of y'all, like me, this world just does not want to respect your energy. And they just don't take you serious. It could be your face makes them think they don't gotta take you serious, your race, your gender, your age, or whatever. And rather than argue about it and keep fighting with these humans, just go ahead and let them have their own chosen one human tribe where they're all chosen to respect each other's energy. And you go ahead and just be a guest. I'm living as a guest on this planet now. I'm no longer calling this planet my home. I'm a guest. I mean, I don't have to stay involved long. I don't have to stay involved long with society because I'm a guest here. Y'all. For real. Okay, y'all. Well, I shared this video If you enjoyed this video, feel free to let me know. If you'd like to send a donation, you can send a donation to my Cash App at # Coach V Hunter. Bye, everybody.